How's it going, troops? Jordan here, bringing you the second episode of my Call of Duty Advanced Warfare weapon guides. Today we're going to be taking a look at another assault rifle in Advanced Warfare that isn't exactly the best to use, but can be good at medium ranges, this being the HBRa3. So the HBRa3, like I said, is another assault rifle in Advanced Warfare that you get to unlock pretty early on at level 20. In my opinion, the HBRa3 is one of the weakest weapons to use in game, mainly due to its low fire rate, which we'll talk about later on. The HBRa3 is an average assault rifle that normally you come across in every Call of Duty game. You always tend to get one or two assault rifles in Call of Duty games that normally set the standard for assault rifles, and the HBRa3 definitely fits this criteria. You rarely come across players using this weapon in game, mainly due to that low fire rate, but also because there are a lot of better weapons to use it in Advanced Warfare, such as the ASM-1, or like I said in the last weapon guide, the BAR-27. The HBRa3 has two elite variants to it. The first elite variant is called the Bare Fist. The Bare Fist features an integrated red dot sight, which definitely can be useful when firing over range, and the main trait of the Bare Fist variant is that it gives you increased handling. The other elite variant is called the Insanity, and the main trait for this variant is that it gives you increased fire rate. Out of the two, I say that the Insanity is the better choice. As great as it is having an integrated red dot sight, which can definitely help you out when aiming at targets over range, the Insanity is definitely the better choice with a faster fire rate and a slight increase in damage. But overall it's still a standard assault rifle, and without further ado, let's take a look at some general features. The recoil for the HBRa3 is very high. You can see from my recoil pattern on the grid that the HBRa3 has quite high recoil. This means that it's essential to use the foregrip attachment to this weapon, which is definitely one of my recommended attachments, and we'll be going later on into the attachments that I recommend. This is one of the traits that standard assault rifles don't have, which makes the HBR a little bit unique, but in a bad way rather than a good way. The damage figures for the HBRa3 is at 40-24. This means that you can get 3 shots to the body up close, or 3 shots if you shoot them in the head, and it's going to drop off over distance to 5 shots to the body and 4 shots to the head due to the 1.1 times headshot multiplier. A lot of the weapons in Advanced Warfare tend to have the 1.1 times headshot multiplier, definitely a lot lower than in previous Call of Duty games. So you're probably thinking to yourself, how can the HBRa3 be one of the worst weapons in game when it's got pretty decent damage output? Well, like I said at the start of this video, it's mainly due to its low fire rate. The low fire rate of the HBR definitely drags down its weapon performance, and it's probably the main reason why you never really see this weapon used in game. And finally, let's take a look at the iron sights. The iron sights on the HBRa3 are definitely some of the worst. The iron sights may look pretty at first, with those diamond shaped sights, but when you see an enemy and you aim down your sights, the irons obscure your vision and definitely can really put you off, which means that an optic is definitely necessary in order to perform well. So now that we're taking a look at a few general features of the HBRa3, it's time to take a look at some figures. So the fire mode of the HBRa3 is at fully automatic, which is definitely good because I'm pretty sure this would be a terrible weapon to use in semi-automatic or in burst mode. Just like a normal standard assault rifle, the magazine size for the HBRa3 is at 30 rounds, or if you equip extended mags to the weapon, that will boost your magazine capacity up to 45 rounds. The fire rate is slightly complicated, but it's very simple once you understand it. The first few rounds of each burst used by the HBRa3 fire a lot faster than the rest of the rounds, at 857 rounds per minute. However, this does quickly drop off to a low fire rate of 625 rounds per minute. So ideally, the only solution to do well with this weapon is to get a few shots onto your enemy, then stop firing and then fire again. That way all your shots fire much faster. But in reality, when you stop firing at your enemy, chances are they're probably going to take you out. So ideally, firing the first few shots and then pausing and then firing again is definitely not ideal when using this weapon. The reload time of the HBRa3 is at 2 seconds, which is quite fast, and with the fast reload is at 1.4 seconds. The fast reload really isn't necessary. 2 seconds is quick enough to reload a fresh magazine, so you don't really need to worry about the fast reload. The movement speed of the HBRa3 is at 90% of the base speed, and the aim time of the HBRa3, like all the other assault rifles, is at 250 milliseconds. So now that we're taking a look at a few figures regarding the HBRa3's weapon performance, it's time to take a look at my personal recommended attachments when using this weapon in game. My first recommended attachment, like I said at the start of the video, is the foregrip. With that high recoil in play, the foregrip definitely makes a difference. If you equip the foregrip, you're going to notice you're going to get pinpoint accuracy with most of your shots. What's better than having pinpoint accuracy when also equipping an optic? The iron sights are awful and can definitely help you lose your gunfights. So I recommend using any optical attachment, but my personal choice of optic has to be the red dot sight. Having the low recoil of the foregrip and the red dot sight giving you precise accuracy, these two attachments are definitely beneficial when using the weapon. And finally, my third recommended attachment is the quick draw grip. What's better to aim at your targets over medium to long ranges than to quickly snap onto them with the quick draw grip. At first I didn't think that this attachment would be really useful, but after unlocking it with the HBRa3 and using it for a few games, I can honestly say that yes, this attachment is definitely useful. So I recommend running that primary gunfighter wildcard and equipping all three of these attachments. That way you'll get the most use from this weapon. So guys, this concludes my weapon guide to the HBRa3 assault rifle. Let me know in the comment section below if you use the HBRa3 and if you like it or not. I'd be interested to know. If you did enjoy this weapon guide or found the information I said useful in any way, then give the video a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it a lot. If this is the first video of mine that you stumbled across and you enjoyed what you saw, then do consider subscribing, it would definitely help me out a lot. Let me know in the comment section below which weapon you'd like to see in my next weapon guide, and until the next video, I thank you all for watching, stay true to my troops, and I'll see you in game.